Okay, Hardy was introduced to me by Brendan Golby, who we had speaking here a while ago, and I said to Brendan, who's about the most interesting, or doing the most interesting thing in town that you've run across so far? Brendan, without a second's hesitation, said you should see what Hardy's doing. He's doing, well, I'm going to let him tell you what he's doing, but it's brand new, it's pretty impressive, and it's got to do with Dr. Google. So Hardy, if you'd like to join us up here.
Yeah, so good morning everyone. I'm a photographer. I've been in Toowoomba since 1991. I've run focal point photos for all those years, and I thought what I'd do today is give you a little bit of a background of where I came from, and then from there explain to you what I'm doing now and where the future of some photographers is, and some terrific advantages for yourself as a business if you take up this opportunity. So I was born in Germany, came out when I was 11, and in my working life, when I started working, it was in Sydney. I joined the Navy, and that's also where I met my wife Alison. Now Alison and I we met in the dark room on our photographic course, and yeah, we just stayed together and got engaged, and the Navy was trying to get me to get Alison to change to the Navy, and the Air Force was trying to get me to change over to the Air Force, but that never happened. We actually left before before that could happen. So anyway, in the old days, there's one of the old Linoff cameras. That's what we used to do. We were actually trained on those. They have a little dark slide that you put in the back, and you pull the slide out, take the photo, put the slide back in, and then you go in the dark room and swish it around in a bit of chemistry, and out came this amazing image. And we used to be wizards, which was really exciting in those days, except nowadays everyone can take a photo, and a pretty good one at that. So probably the most funnest part, besides being with Alison, was going flying. I love flying in helicopters and planes and taking photos out of them. It's extremely exciting. When we were in the services, we got to do a lot of fun things. That's Alison heading off to Broome. The pilot let her sit behind the controls. We got married in the mid-80s, hence the attire. And then, we didn't honeymoon in Germany, we were a year later. And yeah, so just a bit of fun there. That's my family. I've got two girls on the top left, as you can see. Oh, sorry, top right. And a little while ago, I started with Google photography, which I'll get back to shortly. I also belong to a breakfast group. The one that I attend is called B&I. And a lot of the photos that you see here are from members and the different types of work that they employ me to do for them. Tim from KC Mechanical, for instance, he fixes up Nissan diesel motors, and he said since I've taken these photos, he's had them up on the website, he's had something like $40,000 to $50,000 worth of work come in just alone from having that information and those photos up there. Some of these business people you probably recognise. So Solomon's Flooring. I won't go into it too much so it doesn't conflict with what you guys do here. That's a nice little restaurant up in High Street. Hogan's Jewelers. And my main focus is business. So I do headshots, I do them on location, environmental. I take photographs of interiors and exteriors of business. I try and take them at the right time of the day so it actually looks good. And everything from hotels, motels to retail to professional services. One of my main passions is food. I love cooking, I love eating, and I love photographing food. And my Bible's The Gourmet Traveller. It's the magazine I enjoy the most. There's a beautiful saddlery up at Stanthorpe, and it's, if any of you have had little girls, that's the fairy shop. So, and that's the old Fitzy's, the way it used to look before they did the reno. Engine room cafe, Glennie Chapel, and kitchen outfit. So just to show a bit of the diversity of what we actually do. With the business photography and staff photography, I come to your premises, or you can come to me. I've got a home studio, fully equipped. So you can either have a very studio-looking photo, or we can do environmental. Unfortunately, these guys are no longer here with us, but they did serve good food. Everyone knows the Raffas, I presume. And real estate. Just show you that you can do something a little bit different with the photos, with a photo finish. This guy's a chiropractor. He just wanted to have a bit of fun with a photo shoot. And there's some of the business people and family portraits that we did for them as well. So nowadays, because a lot of photographers have got fairly good cameras and they can take their own, most of the photography you see done is usually done in parks and on location. Whereas if you're using studio lighting, you need a little bit more knowledge so that you can produce a good result. More family photos, and most people seem to like the natural style as opposed to posed, and I often find it quite interesting to see the photos they actually purchase, because it's often not what I think they would. I sometimes get photos of the back of children as they're walking away, and the parent will want to purchase that. So it's just everyone has a different feel for what they do. These guys, we were talking about greyhounds before. He actually rescues greyhounds, like he fosters them or whatever, looks after them. And he wanted to have some nice photos taken of the dogs. So, yeah, which we did manage. And that was their Christmas card, and that's his wife. So, we're nearly there, and it's Preston Peak and Breathe Health. Yeah, so it's a nice mix of photography that we do. So what happened about 3 years ago, a very good friend of mine and a business owner came along and said, "Hardy, have you heard the latest of what Google's doing?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, you need to get in front of the computer. You need to Google this opportunity, and as soon as it comes up, you need to register." And I said, "All right." And he said, "No buts, just do it." So I did. And what I did is I signed up for a program to become a trusted Google photographer. Now, what that is it's like Street View technology, but it's into business. Obviously, I don't drive a car in there. So the little thing that turns around on top, I do that on a tripod, and I had extensive training to do that, and I was given a certain area that I could do that in. So I'm very privileged to actually be able to do it, and I haven't had any competition, which is terrific. And I do not just Toowoomba, but also the Sunshine and Gold Coast and all the way up, where there's about 50 to 60 photographers in Australia and New Zealand that do this. The majority of them are in the capital cities. So it leaves it wide open for me to do what I do. So to give you an example, let's type in here, Fitzy's. Okay, so have you noticed I'm now in the Google search. I'm not in anybody's website, okay? I'm in Google search. So I've typed in Fitzy's, and I haven't even quite got there yet, and it's already come up. Now, on that side over there, you'll see the little box with the photo, the map, and the see inside version. Now, my big thing for you guys today is, if for some reason you're not listed with Google My Business, please think really hard about doing that, because it costs you nothing. Now, would you not prefer, if someone Googles you, to have that sort of information come up on that side of the screen when people look at you? Or would you rather see, oh, they're in Facebook, then you've got to click into Facebook, then you've got to try and work out where on earth the information is there when they're open, what their phone numbers are. It takes way too long because people, especially the younger and the more quicker they are, they have absolutely no patience for anything. So if you've got it sitting there nice and big and you can't miss it, it's a huge advantage for you. So it's got the map there, it's got your opening hours, you can put your own photos in there, and people can leave reviews, which can be good or bad. I understand that, but you just got to make sure you get lots of good ones. So that's a terrific way. Yes, please. Just the or just professionals? Well, I have to put down Toowoomba, I think, because, or is it only in Toowoomba professionals? So I'll just go here, and then did you say insight? INSIGHT? Okay, here we go. So, all right, so that's good. You've actually got a Google listing, which is terrific. And so, first tip for the day, everyone, you need to get onto each other's businesses and leave 5-star reviews. Because, have a guess what? If you're Googling down and there's a bit of opposition as you're going up and down, if yours has got a 5-star review, it's pretty impressive. So you support each other and get on there and leave 5-star reviews for each other. I'm sure you can do that wholeheartedly. So your map's there, and then you will be able to put some photos, and you should put the odd photo in there, or at least 5 or 10 of them anyway, and then just top it up every 2 to 3 months so Google can see you're active and you're doing something with that. If for some reason you move, your telephone number changes or anything changes at all, when you put that information into Google Plus to make that change, or into your website or wherever you start to make the change, make sure you carry that across into everything, into your Facebook, into your Google, into Yellow Pages. It's like moving house and letting everyone know where you've moved to. Because if you don't, Google will look at that and go, hold on a minute, something's not quite right here. I've got the phone number over here, then they're over here, they're still listed at the old address, because, so no one, that Google doesn't really know if you're really telling the truth, because you've changed all this information, but not all the way across into all the different platforms. So it's really important that if you do make a change, that you actually carry it through into all those mediums. So, and of course the other, like I said, the other big advantage of doing that Google listing is, and by the way, I'll bring it up quickly. It's called Google My Business, and this is what it looks. If you haven't got this, this is what it looks like. So you just get on Google, so you click on that and you start. You just fill it in, just like you would anything else that you register for. So yeah. Now, so if we get back into, let's say again, Fitzy's Toowoomba, and go back into that see inside option there. So what I provide for businesses is this opportunity. So left clicking the mouse, I can actually turn myself around and see how there's a little arrow thing in front of the hand. That takes me to wherever I choose to go now. So I've now got a self-guided, not a video, tour that takes me through those premises. I can now decide, yes, I want to have a beer here, or no, I can't stand it. That's an awful, scenario. Whatever your feelings are, whatever, that business, Fitzy's, has now connected with you. So emotionally you're connected. So if you're looking for a place to go on a Friday night and you haven't already made up your mind, they've touched you and they've made an impression. And usually with these guys, a good one. So consequently, if there was 6 to 10 pubs listed and they haven't got a see inside, you've got nothing to compare it with. They've halfway got you already. Hence, that's how powerful that actually is. Why do they do it for you? Well, I guess it's kind of, it's why do they everything? Why they do everything? It's just really a case of providing a service and helping them, I suppose, to get as much information as they can on us and what we do. But sorry? Yeah. No, well, of course they have. Well, they haven't actually told us that. They haven't told us that. No, but I think you certainly could work that one out. Yes, yeah. And so, these guys here, if they want to fill that room up, well, they're showing it off to the world. So you've got 24-hour access to that, 24/7. So if you've got your business shot in this particular manner, you're open for business. So another very good one to go on to is, I just did this recently, Sandstream's a good example. They're only a tiny little shop, but since we actually did this for them, they've had massive amounts of inquiries because of all the different types of things that they do. And I mean, if you look at that, you can't not be impressed. It's really amazing. And so he's told me within 2 weeks he's had several inquiries. People are telling other people to go and Google it and look at it, and then other people tell, so you can imagine the on-flow. It's almost like getting likes and shares on Facebook. So what I recommend to people to do, so once this is actually live on Google, you can embed that URL into your website, Facebook, any social media, that LinkedIn. You can put it into your email signature. So for instance, if you wanted to, someone's made an inquiry about glass that's been finished in that particular fashion, you could go to that part of the tour, copy and paste the URL and stick that into an email, and when they click on that, the tour starts right there. Not out the front door, but just right there. So you're making an instant impact again. If you're wondering what this normally costs, it costs about $600 for a small business like that. Fitzy's is about $900. And that's it. There's a one-off cost only. And like I said, you've got all those different ways of using it. Also, I recommend highly that when people have had it done, that they actually get into their phone and start calling up a few people every day and let them know that they've got the tour. And do that obviously quite excitedly. If you've got staff, the same thing. So that way you're getting organic hits on your website, on your on your listing, and obviously I suggest you put it in your website as well, because why wouldn't you? It's free. Once you've already paid for it, you may as well use it into all the different areas. So yeah, it's a very, very powerful thing, and that's not going away. So I'm also hotel certified, which means that I can also create this for hotels. And now it's slightly different in the sense that those little things down here are usually the different room types, or the pool area, or the bar area, or whatever it is. And so you can just take that particular, and like it's done in separate islands, you can take that particular one. If you're a hotel, someone's booked a double room, you can send them a link for just that room that they've booked, and they can take a quick tour through it. So we're getting quite a good uptake on those as well. Yes.
That one sounds strictly populated from the products.
Sure.
The hotel one, to me, I didn't have any stuff.
No, that has to be empty. Well, sorry, no, it doesn't. No, my apologies, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be empty. I recommend it be empty. I've had the Shamrock, they wanted me to come on Saturday. They had a wedding, a band on, and another function. I said, mate, I've got a tripod and a camera. I'm trying to show you a venue. I'm just, besides them actually probably running over it, I'm not going to show anything of your thing because the tripod's only this high. If you've got everything jam-packed with people, I'm not on the ceiling looking down. I'm on ground level. So how am I going to make an impact to show how amazing your venue looks? So I recommend people that want to get the feel of atmosphere with people in it, call me to take some photographs, or get a video guy in to take some video. But that is more to do with a place and what that place has, as opposed to what the people bring to it. So it's more about your fittings, your colours, your atmosphere, your space. That's what that is all about. So how do I pick the businesses, or how do I recommend businesses whether they should use my services or not? I initially thought when I started that it should be mainly restaurants and sort of venues that look pretty, but since then I've learned something totally different. I've done a manufacturing business down the Gold Coast that make curtains. They've got a small little showroom up the front and a fairly big, massive, semi-untidy one out the back where they actually manufacture the curtains. But the highlight is they're manufacturing curtains in Australia. They're making stuff here. So I think, getting that message across. I go into small business offices like accountants, businesses and solicitors or whatever, and there's not much there except for the front desk or that type of thing. So consequently, I guess there's not as much to see, but people still want it because it gives an interaction between a client to bring them into your business. So obviously they don't cost a couple $100 because there's nothing going on, but it still makes an impact. Sorry, question? You could set that up. The only thing is Google does require me to blur all the faces and all the number plates. So whenever I do it, whether it's busy or half busy or whatever, I've got to look for reflections in windows and cars to make sure there's no people or number plates that are not blurred. I have to blur them. I do get that occasionally where the people are saying to me, look, you're just broadening the opportunity for a thief to come in. I've had a couple of businesses say, look, we don't want that. And I said, that's fine. So your choice. I mean, obviously okay, what I do, I don't sell, I show and tell. I show you that. If you think that's pretty cool, you'll get it. And if you don't, well, I'm not going to actually stand there and argue with the business owner why they should have it, because what a waste of time that is. They actually either get it or they don't get it. And what I find usually when I go into businesses, they call whoever the young person is, and ask them, what do you think of that? And then I've got the job. Because they understand the power of what that actually is, and so they sell it for me. So I don't try and convince anyone. I agree with you. Whatever your opinion is, it's right. I'm not going to argue with anyone because I just know what I know and I can give that information. I can't. My job is not to convince anybody to think differently. It's just an awareness thing. This is now available. If you are a particular type of business and one or two of them have got the opportunity for people to see inside, you may not want people to see inside your business till they get there. But like I said, the engagement and Just can I say something to that? I also do photography for real estate agents, limited amount only. And usually when I go into a house that's still being rented by someone, I'm often asked to, well, I don't do it obviously physically myself, but they take pictures of, they tell me, we do not want that television in, that means my camera has to swing and disclude that TV or that area. I've gone into a house once where I could take 2 rooms and a small bit of one, and it was a 4-bedroom house because the client, the renting, people that were in there renting did not want any photos. There's nothing that the real estate agent could do about it. You have to respect the privacy. So yes, if you've got photos of children on the wall when you're selling your house and you don't want anyone to see those, please take them down. I mean, it's logical, isn't it? I mean, obviously if I take a photo and it's going on the internet, it's there to be seen. So if you don't want that, you need to do something about that. But yeah, so sure. Yeah. So look, like I said again, it's a totally optional service. I thank you for the opportunity to present to you all today. It's fairly fresh. As you know, Google is not advertising it, otherwise you would have heard about it. I've been doing it for 2 years. It's been a door-knocking job for me, and my best opportunities that I've had are from people who've seen this and are referring it to their friends, and through that I get business. So if you do have any business owners that could benefit, I'd really appreciate your referral, because I mean that's what we're in the networking groups for. And yeah, get the word out there, and anyone who's got a really good looking shop or one that does amazing stuff, I'd love to be able to show it off to the world. Thank you.